You like to take this time to go up to the bar, pick up whatever you like to drink. So we got about 5 minutes and then we'll start the presentation.
Anybody else for a coffee or tea or anything?
Good evening. You are tuning into Gordcast live streaming the Newfoundland and Labrador Soccer Association 2017 annual banquet and Hall of Fame induction. Here we are where supper has just been finished up and we will be live with presentation of awards along with the Hall of Fame inductees here. I will just browse through the audience here. We have a lot of soccer people on go here. Beautiful evening for soccer, for the promotion of soccer here in Newfoundland. Table there, Ron O'Neill, Rob Comerford, Jeff Tiller. Over in the far corner, we have Rob Antle. This is an inductee into the Hall of Fame. We have Bob Antle. We have Judy, Calloway, minor soccer chairperson. And Damian Masterson, senior men's VP. Right at the table, I'm sitting here alongside of the president of the St. Lawrence Soccer Association, alongside of Mark Pitman, president of BPSA, along with Alex Noseworthy and family. And Alex is from Fortune. He'll be inducted into the provincial Hall of Fame as well. A great evening here. Alongside we have Mr. Colin Edwards. If I can get to see Colin. Colin is down there with family. The big old bull they call Colin Edwards. For the people from Lon, they know who I'm talking about. Then we have, all over here, we have Ms. Jean Thompson there. Along with over, we have Doug Kirby, Colleen. We have up in the corner, we have Brian Murphy and the two Babcock boys getting ready to do their thing in the during the presentation. So a nice crowd on hand. We have Craig Edwards right in front of me. Or hard to see him. I'll move the camera a little. We have Craig Edwards there, and Craig is set alongside with. I see Frank Pitman. David Pitman is getting an award for official, the Ross Artlett Award, I think. So again, a great crowd on hand here. I have a family. The Breens are here. The mayor, Danny Breen, alongside. Danny is the uncle of Laura Breen, and Laura Breen is here with all family. And we have a bearded Mark Pitman here. That comes with age, I guess, and the new look. The new look. So Mark Pitman is there. Okay, we'll get her back to Mr. This evening it will be Jeff Babstock along with Brian Murphy, who will be co-emceeing the banquet here this evening.
Corporate sponsors, and NLSA is no different. At this time, I'd like to recognize those people who made it possible for
for NLSA to do what they do. Those are the provincial government, Molson Breweries, Breen's Deli and Catering, Sportscraft Limited, Imprint, Specialty Promotions, Turf Masters, Scotia Wealth Management, Canadian Soccer, the Orange Stores, Holiday Inns, Tim Hortons, Pennycon Limited, St. John's Soccer Club, St. Lawrence, Laurentians, and the Filians Athletic Association. I would also, at this time, like to recognize and thank the committee members that had and discussed all the resumes for Hall of Fame and for the awards, and to, at times, very difficult choice, but they do their best, and as a result, I'd like to thank these people tonight, the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, Mr. Brian Walsh, Mr. Gord and yours truly, the Selection Committee, Judy Calloway, that's for the awards, Judy Calloway, Jeff Tiller, Damien Masterson, Doug Redman, and I chaired that committee this year. I would also like to thank some people who, over the course of the fall and the winter, helped make this evening a success. Business manager Rob Comerford, who does a lot of the administration aspect of this affair. Colin McConnell, who looked after the media side of things. And not to forget, our caterers, Fireside Catering. For me, I've been to a number of affairs, but the pace at which the staff got out a piping hot meal, cleared away, dessert, tea, super. So thanks again, caterers. I'm now going to pass it over to Brian, who is going to start the awards presentation.
Gord.
Okay, the first award of the evening is the George Ennis Award, and that goes to the Youth Male Player of the Year. So I'd like to call upon George, if he will come up, please, to make the presentation. And the winner for 2017 is Jacob Grant.
Congratulations, Jake. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'd like to remind all the recipients that if you'd like to say a few words, you're more than welcome to say a few words. Come on up, Jacob. I know you're not that shy.
Alright. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank NLSA for the award and for the support over the years. I'd like to thank my coaches this past year, Andrew Murphy with the Canada Games team, Jeremy Babstock with Holy Cross for the support and the playing time. A special thanks to Jake Stanford, who took me on with Holy Cross team when I was just 14 years old and made me feel a part of the team immediately. And finally, a big thank you to my parents for all the support, not just this year, but for over the past 10 years. Thank you very much.
The next award is the Judy Calloway Award, and that goes to the Youth Female Player of the Year. So I'd like to call upon Judy, if she would come up, please. And the 2017 winner is Sydney Walsh.
to all the coaches, players, and especially my parents who have supported me throughout the years, throughout my youth career. I'm really excited and looking forward to starting my soccer career as a senior player. There's a couple of thank yous I'd like to say to some specific individuals, especially to Gary Forsyth for putting up with how contrary I can be training at 5 o'clock in the morning. And especially huge thank you to the Holy Cross team for the last 2 years of lots of practice for sure, and I'm sure for a lot more to come. So thank you.
Our first Hall of Famer is one, no pun intended, blew holes in the cliche. If you can't play the part, at least look the part. Upon entering the field of play, this individual not only looked the part, he certainly played the part. His presence immediately set the tone, while his actions earned the respect of players and coaches alike, and the designation of one of the best. Our first Hall of Famer this evening is Rob Antle. I'm going to ask his father, Bob Antle, who is a Hall of Famer, if he will induct his son into the Hall of Fame.
How you doing? Good evening. Thanks for having me here. It's a real honor. I refereed for the better part of 25 years, and one thing I learned over that 25 years is if nobody knew who you were at the end of the game, that meant you did a good job. So I'm here for a very short time. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the other inductees here tonight. I had the honor to be on the field with a couple of them at the same time. I'd also like to thank some of my mentors who helped me in the early days as a referee, including Nels Wilkins, the late Ross Arlett, Gene Thompson, and Brian Walsh, who's here tonight. And I'm very happy to have him at the table over there with me. Also, family support. Family means everything, and having family there to support you through a lot of the time and commitment you put into it is great. My dad, who you just saw, my mom was over there, my brother. Well, my brother always wasn't a support on the field, but that's all right. And my wife, Jen. And my daughter, Grace. Sorry. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work refereeing, but I had a lot of fun too. I refereed in a lot of different places all across Canada. Got to do a couple of games in Northern Ireland, and when I was a young fella, I did a couple of games in Australia when I was backpacking around. A lot of good memories, but most of my best memories are from right here, from doing games on fields a couple of kilometers away from here, or a couple of 100 kilometers in down on the peninsula. Those are some of my best memories. Whenever I traveled, I was happy to say I had a badge on my chest that had Canada, and said Canada, but underneath that, I always felt like I had Newfoundland and Labrador in my heart, and I hope I represented everybody well. So thank you very much, and have a good evening.
We have all heard the expression that sometimes big things come in little packages. Our next Hall of Famer roamed the soccer field like a true pocket battleship, a raider of the high seas, creating havoc as he struck from everywhere, while dictating the tempo and the direction a game might take. I'm going to ask her uncle, who stole my thunder, Mr. Danny Breen, Mayor Danny Breen, to come and induct his niece into the Hall of Fame. Laura and Danny Breen.
thank you to NLSA, obviously, for inducting me. I'm much like Doug when it comes to this. I don't have very many words, but I'll try to make sure I remember everybody that I did want to thank. So obviously start with my parents and my family. I thank my mom and my dad for all the drives and all the support, your bank account especially. Maybe the debt that I put you in, and I have 2 kids now and I'm starting to understand that even more now, so thank you. Thank you to Mark for his patience with my Mun soccer. It's with 2 kids especially, it's really hard to work around them and to work around that schedule, so your patience is very much appreciated. And also my 2 sisters, of course, who, my sister Susan, we played with and against each other all growing up, and my older sister who played as well. I also had to mention a few coaches that stand out off the top of my head when I was trying to think of who I had to thank. Ray Hurley and Tony Mullet, and then, of course, Dragon. Myself and Dragon have spent a lot of time together over the years, many hours on the field as a player, as a coach, and I'm very appreciative for everything that you've done for me, so thank you very much. And same with Jeff. Jeff was there when I was with the national team going up through, and he was there with me when I started coaching, and I'm very appreciative for everything that I've learned from all of you. I also have to thank Scott Betts and Walt Maven, and I have to thank Mike Power as well. Mike kept me on with the Mun team as an assistant coach, and I show up with, I got a baby strapped on, and I'm pushing a stroller, and Peter's throwing cones everywhere, and I'm trying to clean them up before Mike sees. So I'm really appreciative of your patience. Both of my babies have been to AUS playoffs, something else I'm very proud to say. And the girls on the team, they're babysitters, and they think Peter throws rock in the water, and they just act like it's the most exciting thing in the world. So they entertain them while I'm out on the field doing whatever, so I'm very appreciative for them as well. The only couple things that I really wanted to say, one is how far Newfoundland soccer has come since I played. When I was with the national team coming up through, it was a challenge. I was always the only Newfoundlander, which was, it was nice, but it was very hard. It had its challenges. We never had indoor turf. We never even had outdoor turf at this point. So when I showed up to camp, I was significantly behind everybody else. I remember showing up to my first indoor turf field in Toronto and Hamilton, I think it was actually. And I didn't even know what it was. I'd never seen one before. I'd never seen turf before. I had my cleats, and everybody had their turf shoes, and it was really embarrassing. But I kind of powered through. The first few camps were hard, but I did learn a lot from it. And now we have our indoor turfs, and we have our outdoor turfs, and we have soccer all year round. So the kids now are really lucky to have what they have, and I hope that they appreciate it. Something else I'm very proud of. Some may disagree, and I'm sure the Holy Cross girls will cringe a little bit when I say it. But when we started Kirby, that was something I was really proud to be a part of. All going up through Ontario and BC, they look at the pools and they try to see who they're with, and they saw Newfoundland, they were like, awesome, that's a win, that's perfect. And when we started Kirby in the last 10 years, that's what you fear. You see Newfoundland in your pool now and you fear that, and we really did change the face of soccer for women in Canada, and that's something I was very proud to be a part of. I'm even more proud of the Holy Cross girls. They set out and they made history and they did what we couldn't do. So I'm very proud of them, and I think it's an incredible accomplishment. I'm proud. I'm mainly jealous, mainly envious, but I'm very proud of them as well. My career, it's a bit bittersweet being up here. I'm only 32. My career did come to a pretty quick end in August of 2010, I think it was. I got a call to go to the World Cup camp, and the night before I found my ACL torn. So that kind of put an end to that, and when I came back, I wasn't who I was before, and it was hard, and it was a challenge, but everything happens for the best. I'm still very involved with my coaching, and I'm thankful to Mun, to St. John's Soccer, of course, for keeping me on, and Newfoundland Soccer for letting me coach their players, and this is an honor, so thank you very much.
One other little tidbit Brian just told me. Because of Laura's accomplishments within the St. John's region, the club, or St. John's Soccer Club, has established a scholarship recognizing Laura for her efforts and what she accomplished. It's for university, Brian. So it's the Laura Breen Scholarship that's going to be presented by St. John's Soccer. Our next award, and it's an award, not a Hall of Fame inductee, the Senior Male Player of the Year, or the Brian Murphy Award. And this is going to go to an individual with a boyish looks and a charming smile that has fooled many into believing that he was a bit soft as a central defender. However, little do they know that his hidden toughness just might be a gift from his Hall of Fame grandfather. Sam Pretty, our hard-nosed, tough defender with the great Holy Cross teams of the 1950s. Always played with a handkerchief in his hand, and I mentioned it, I believe, to his son, and he said, "You know." Yes, and there's a few others here that know. Sam was a man with a handkerchief, perspired, but he was there. Anyway, Alex Pretty with Holy Cross is our Senior Male Player of the Year. So, Alex.
I'd like to start by thanking my coaches, Jeremy and Jake, for doing an outstanding job with both Holy Cross and the Seahawks. Jeremy pushed us through a ton of adversity and hardships that we wouldn't have won the Challenge Cup without him. Jake understood that it was my last year with the Seahawks program, so he inspired me to grind this last season for not only myself, but for the team and the upcoming players. There are many talented athletes in Newfoundland. It must have been really hard just to pick one. I am very grateful and appreciative to be recognized for my hard work and to be receiving this award tonight for Senior Male Athlete of the Year. Lastly, I would like to thank my family and friends for being there at every game and making me play my best. Special thanks to my mom and dad for always being there since day one. Thank you.
The next award is the Laura Breen Award. It goes to the Senior Female Player of the Year. Greatness is usually acquired over time. However, our next award winner is well underway to that designation. Over the past few years, she has developed into one of our most dangerous and consistent goal scorers at the Jubilee Trophy and university level. The Senior Female Player of the Year is Jessie Noseworthy.
I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's supported me not only this season, but since I started my career. Thanks to all my girls, both on MUN and Holy Cross. I'm lucky to have such a great group of girls that I really grew up with. A lot of us have stuck together since we've been 6 and 7 years old, so it's been a nice ride together. Thanks to my coaches, Jake, Paul, Kenny, Mike, Maddie, and Laura. Some of you guys volunteer a lot of your time into the sport, so I'm really thankful for that. Jake's been coaching me since I've been really young, and I'm really thankful for him for teaching us at such a young age that no matter that doesn't matter that we're from Newfoundland, that anytime we can step out on the field that we have a chance to win the match. He always believed in us, even when we really didn't. So I'm really grateful to have you as a coach. And of course to Mike, who coached me the last few years of my MUN career. He taught me a lot about the game. He's so knowledgeable, and I'm really thankful to have him through the last few years of my eligibility. So cheers to a successful soccer season, and here's to many more. Thank you.
The psyche surrounding our next Hall of Famer had many opposing players, teams wondering whether or not there was an invisible wall which kept balls from entering his net. The ability to read the game, along with great anticipation, sure hands, quick feet, were certainly the materials he used to build his invisible goal. Our next Hall of Famer is Mr. Rod Drake, and I'm going to ask Mr. Ed Moyce, life member, to come forward to do the induction.
Perfect, thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to start by saying I would be much more relaxed playing in a championship game up here than up here, speaking in front of everyone tonight. This is way harder. I'd like to thank the soccer committee for the privilege of being inducted in the Newfoundland Soccer Hall of Fame. It's truly an honor. Thanks to all of my family for coming to my games and supporting me, especially the ones here tonight celebrating with me. I'd also like to say thanks to all the teammates I played with over the years that made my job as a goalie much easier. One of those players is here tonight. Congratulations, Colin, and all the other inductees. I'd also like to thank Jimmy Rogers for taking the time to nominate me and getting all the information together. In closing, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Tamara, for putting up with me playing soccer for the last 25 years. And to my amazing daughter, Cassandra, thank you for taking a few days off studying from university to be here with me tonight. It wouldn't be the same without you. And after tonight, I will have some awesome soccer stories for you to listen to. Thanks, everyone.
The cliche, action speaks louder than words, was certainly a characteristic of the next Hall of Famer. His determination and leadership in his role as a central defender helped two clubs to Challenge Cup championships. Our next Hall of Famer is Colin Edwards, and I would like Mr. Angus Barrett to come forward, life member, to do the present or do the induction.
Congratulations. Gord wants to see you. I got you, Colin. You're all over the world.
This way?
I got you. Okay, it's all right.
You still got a small. Excellent. Great.
I guess Brad already said it. A lot easier to play, but I would stand up here. But now that I'm up here, I would like to thank the selection committee for this honor. I'd I'd like to thank many of my teammates, one here with me tonight. Come from a small town. Get here. It's a big honor. A lot of teammates. We had a small town team, 3 or 4 really skilled players. The rest were tall boys, myself included. But for a period of 5 or 6 years, we could compete. But anyway, and there's 2 guys here that held down the middle. There's 2 more that are not here that I'd like to acknowledge at all. 5-foot center back, Scott Edwards, who could jump miles, and Rod Rowe, who tried to mark to Johnny Breen's, Paul Slaney's, Rob Carter, Jeff Warren's, a whole lot, and done a masterful job. So I had to bring them up here too. So to all my teammates, thank you, and to the committee, and good night.
I used to always remember when I was coaching Holy Cross, one of the places where we got to schedule at the beginning of the year, one of the places we hated to go to play was go to lawn. Because we knew that we were in for a tough game. And I always remember when the last times I coached, we played lawn in Bjorn. And one person beat us that night, and it was the goaltender, who was unbelievable. And he made a save on Johnny Breen that, I don't know how he got over and made the save, but it was just unbelievable. So, I mean, my hat's off to these 2 guys that have been inducted to the Hall of Fame. The next award is for the Volunteer of the Year. And I'm going to ask Doug Redmond, Mr. 50-50, to come up and present the award. I always keep telling Doug, I never buy tickets off him again, because the tickets I bought were from '94.
You're not the only one, Brian.
I heard I'm not the only one. Anyway, the Volunteer of the Year, and these are the people that this sport could not do without, because without volunteers, this sport would not happen. The Volunteer of the Year this year is Mr. Don Coombs.
Mr. MC, Your Worship, Mayor Breen, inductees and award winners, I am both humbled and honored to be here this evening to accept this award, not only for myself, but for all the volunteers involved in our great game throughout every association and region in the province. I wish to thank those that brought my name forward. Although unexpected, is appreciated. I say unexpected because I feel when you get into volunteering at any level, you are expecting nothing in return. Expecting something takes away from being a volunteer. I've been a volunteer in this great sport for 35 years. I learned about this sport at Buckmaster Circle, coming into St. John's on weekends and spending on Charlton Street and Springdale Street. I have enjoyed each and every day of being a volunteer, whether it is on a hot summer day when you get the boys wanting to come over, only happened in Newfoundland this year, or on a cold winter's day when you want to go to the gym. You have to enjoy it. Volunteers are sometimes described as the glue that holds society together, and it's certainly true within our game. I believe as true volunteers, we become in some ways teachers. Not teachers with degrees, but teachers of life skills. We teach our associations and our players respect for themselves, for their opponents, for officials, and for fans. And I got to say, the NLSA got one of the best programs that I've ever seen for respect. Doug, you do a great job of that. And I see it at the minor level, and I'm sure it carries through the wall. We lead and instill social skills and teamwork and the physical aspect and become role models. We teach what winning is about, and we teach what losing is about in a professional manner. We sure do have big roles as volunteers, and it's one that we embrace. It is seeing young players coming out in the field with the cleats and the smile and the shirts on and just so excited about the game. We realize that we must ask ourselves why a certain individual, and I get this from Jumpstart, are not playing the game. They're sit outside and they're waiting, their friends are playing. So I get an opportunity to go over and get them involved in the game. Right? And I think that's so, so important. Being a volunteer is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, and I will continue to do. I've come to realize through Dragon that striving for greatness and the players could all fall into different categories. Dragon said to me one time in our program, "Don, you're not having people go on the national team." Oh, we're not. Not in our association. But if you can make them the best that they can be, that's what you're doing as a volunteer. And Dragon said that to me a number of years ago. And I want to thank him for saying it, because I never forgot it a day since, no matter what I'm involved in. The little kid or the player that might just want to play for the sake of playing is just as important in the development of children and players. So that I'm very proud of. Being a good volunteer takes commitment, not only from yourself, but from your family. And I would like to thank my wife Glenda and my daughters Paige and Courtney for their support over the years. I got up one day this winter to go over the program. So we have a program in our little town that we run for 3 or 4 months of the year. And it says very few at your age will go over with no kids involved. I suggest I have 180 kids involved in the program. And it says very few do it. And I'm so happy to see my daughters, Paige and Courtney, step up to the plate and become volunteers. And that they're giving back to the game and those that also gave to them. I'm honored and humbled to be here among the elite of our soccer in the province. Your names that I hear tonight as Hall of Famers and as athletes and inductees mean so much to the people in the small communities and small associations. You mean so much, and it's so great to see. Once again, I'm humbled and honored. And Daddy, if there's any left over that 900,000 or that turf, we'll take it in half a race. I got Jamie on side anyway. Thank you again for the honor. It's a privilege and an honor on behalf of all volunteers in the province to accept this award. Thank you to the NLSA. Keep up the great work, Doug and your team, and Rob and Dragon and Mike, and God bless. Bye-bye.
The next award that we're going to be presenting is for the Official of the Year, and is called after Mr. Ross Artlett. And most of you probably know that Ross was a referee for many years, and unfortunately he passed away on King George V with a massive heart attack many years ago. So this award is in his honor. So I'd like to call upon Mr. Frank Pitman, a Hall of Famer himself, to present the award to his son Dave Pitman as Official of the Year.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the NLSA and to everybody who nominated me for this great award. I also like to say thank you very much to my partner Katie and my daughter Madeline for their continued support and understanding of how much soccer and refereeing means to me. Also a big thank you to Mom and Dad, my brother and sister who are here tonight. Thank you, and I look forward to stepping onto the field again in the very near future. Thank you.
strength down the middle has often been quoted to describe successful teams. The strength and actions of our next Hall of Famer from his central defender's position certainly supports that particular belief. Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Craig Edwards, and I would like, Craig Edwards, and I would like Brian Murphy to come forward and do the presentation.
Likewise, as Colin and Rob mentioned, I'm a better soccer player than I am a speaker, so bear with me. I have a few notes here, of course, so we want to do this, my notes. Thank you, first of all, for the nomination. It's a great honor to be here with a lot of faces I haven't seen in a while and a lot I've seen for many years, but nonetheless, a very special moment for me. Thanks for the kind words, Jeff, and whoever put the write-up in the program. Really appreciate it. I have a lot of thanks here. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a wonderful town of Marystown, very supportive people, very club-oriented. As the saying goes, I was raised by a community, you know, it wasn't just a few people. My parents, incidentally, rarely frequented the soccer pitch in Marystown. I think they've seen me play twice in my entire life. So there you go. It's not like today's standards where the parents are always at the field and driving people around. Which gets to my first person I want to thank, Betty Pickett. As I'm sure a lot of people here know. Betty drove me around her gray Pinto for many years. In the 1980s, we wore out that gray Pinto, bringing me around to all the soccer tribes in the Durham Peninsula and everywhere else. God love her. Thanks very much to Mel Stacey. Mel's been like a brother, like father. I played with Mel, but he was coach after that. I can't say enough about Mel. A lot of people here know Mel. Vince Pickett. Again, if you're talking about Marystown soccer, you got to talk about Vince. Confrontational at times, and you know, he is who he is, right? Bill Tough. A lot of people don't know Bill, I guess. I don't see very many at all in this room, but Bill was very much a driving force of showing me what discipline was as a young man. So I wanted to mention Bill quickly here. Another guy, Clayton Walsh from Grand Bank. Thanks to the Clayton for all of his coaching duties in the past. Lloyd Callan, another guy, he was from Fortune. He introduced me to the world of discipline and the way soccer should have been played. Everyone's thanking Jake tonight. I got to thank Jake too. Thanks, Jake, for letting me play with Cross in 2009. That was a wonderful year. I'll never forget that. Thanks a lot. I got to thank all my teammates in Marystown. Many. We're like a dysfunctional family at times, but they were a great bunch of guys. I don't want to single anyone out, other than my brother Scott, of course. We were inseparable for many years. We talked with soccer for hours and hours, and we still do. And it's a huge part of our lives. So thanks to Scott and my brother Paul and my sister Paula as well. Very supportive of my whole life. Rarely missed a game, and they're always there for me. So, and last but not least, my wife Sheena, who's here with me tonight. Thank you very much for being with me all along, through the good times and bad. We had a few rough years in Marystown as well, as you may imagine, being the underdog. And I think that sums it up. So thank you, have a good evening, and have a great night.
Our final inductee of the evening began roaming the soccer pitches of the Durham Peninsula in 1951, wearing the colours of his Fortune Apollos. He, like all previous inductees this evening, was one who led by example. He was admired by all for his ability and the feel and the respect that he showed the game and all those who participated. Those of his era remember him well. If Mr. Ben Lake was here this evening, he would have had the honor. But unfortunately, due to health reasons, he's not able to be here. But his good wife has agreed to come forward and induct Ben's and Maud's good friend, Mr. Alex Noseworthy. So Alex, if you come forward.
I wasn't really smart enough to prepare anything in advance. So I got a few little notes now that I just took down a few minutes ago when I saw that everyone was having a few words. Certainly, I thank the NLSA for my nomination, for my acceptance into this prestigious group, the Soccer Hall of Fame. I thank my nominator, Hubert Hicker. It's too bad he wasn't here tonight, and also the supporters of my nomination. It's a pleasure to be here and to have my family members here, my wife and three children, Dan, Doug, and Darlene. Over the years, I certainly enjoyed every minute of my soccer career, and now, in spite of knee replacements and other aches and pains, that I still would not have given up for anything. Those years were a great pleasure. During my soccer years of fortune, one of the greatest supporters was Ben Lake, and certainly a pleasure for me to see Maud and his daughter here tonight, and for Maud to graciously present me with this award. Again, thank you to the NLSA and to anyone who has supported my nomination, and it's certainly a great honor and privilege to be here tonight. Thank you.
The next award is the Coach of the Year Award, and that's called after Mr. Doug Sweetapple. Unfortunately, Doug couldn't be here tonight. He's sunning himself in Arizona, so he sent his apologies. So I'd like to call upon Mr. Jeff Babstock, if he would come and present the Coach of the Year Award to his son, Jeremy Babstock.
Alright, so thanks very much for the nomination for the award. I'm very honored to receive it. I'd like to make some thank yous as well. This summer was an interesting summer for me. It's my first time as a coach, and I guess it wouldn't be fair unless I make some acknowledgments as to this day how I became here. First of all, I thank my wife Vanessa for putting up all the early morning practices and late nights and road trips and whatnot, so I thank you for that. I'd like to thank my dad. Dad, you taught me the game right from when I grew up. Taught me everything most of the things I know today as a player. Allowed me to grow up to be a versatile player, and where I used to play in a lot of positions. I think that now that I'm finished playing, it helps me out to be more personable when I'm coaching players. I can actually give experiences of my own experiences of playing those positions or whatnot. I got to thank Jake Stanford. You know, he's a mentor of mine. He's coached me in my latter years as a player. And you know, when he came over with Holy Cross, he brought an expectation for the team and demanded the players reach those expectations. And then you know, he allowed me to be assistant coach to him a couple of years ago, and he had confidence and encouraged me to be head coach last year. And throughout the year as well, you know, he was always there to ask questions, bounce questions off of, and he also helped out during final weekend, and even during nationals, busy as he was, he still managed to, you know, help me out on the bench when he could. So Jake, thank you very much for that. I'd also like to thank team captain Jeff Slaney. You know, being a team captain has a lot of responsibilities, but he took on a role too with my team last year. You know, dealing with like financial stuff, and he looked after all that, dealing with other players, send out emails, that sort of thing. It just helps me out so that, you know, I can just coach and worry about coaching, right? And thank the team too. It's a very young team. They trusted in me and believed in me in my first year, and I did to them. We kept a positive attitude throughout. You know, again, it was a very young team. I think the average age of the team, I think come final weekend was about 18 and a half years. Average age, so it's a very, very young team. And, you know, it's only positive going from here, I think. And other than that, yeah, thanks very much.
The next award that we will be presenting tonight is the Ben Lake Award, and that's for Executive of the Year. I'd like to call upon Ben's daughter, Jean Thompson, if she would come up and make the presentation. And this year's award winner is Brian Rice, Portugal Call St. Thomas.
First of all, good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank the NLSA and the nomination committee for this award. I reflect back to the past 11, 12 years since we started as a very small club in Portugal called St. Philip's, and where we've grown to today. And there's a number of factors to that. Number one is perseverance. With a small club, you do what it takes to do the job. You don't have a lot of people around you as compared to other larger clubs and that, and you do what it takes to keep things going. And it's one of those things that when I look back at it now, the past 11 to 12 years, I remember Dragon's words, you know, it's going to take time, and it will take time. And with enough support around you, and with support of the NLSA and Rob in the front office, Doug, great job. It's great support for all the clubs, all the associations. And I think to where we are now, with a turf field down in our area, which is more than great now for a game of soccer for everyone, things are looking really good. So it's perseverance and keeping working hard at it. Anyway, thank you, and have a good evening.
The final award of the evening is the Team of the Year Award, and that's called after Mr. Agnes Barrett Award. So we'll call Agnes to come up, please, to present the award. And 2017 Team of the Year is the Holy Cross Avalon Ford Jubilee soccer team. I'd like to ask the captains to come up and receive the award.
of all, I just want to say congratulations to everyone who was inducted tonight and the award winners. The bulk of this group basically have been together since we were very young, and we're very honored to win this award tonight. It was definitely a very successful year. And going into the Nationals, we put this team together in 2015, and right from the get-go, Jake said to us that our goal was going to be to win a medal at the Nationals someday. We learned very quickly that sometimes the goal that you set out isn't always achievable when you want it. So we took this adversity and we trained hard for 2 years, and even in the Nationals in 2016 when we hosted at home, we didn't get the result we wanted, but we moved on from there and we worked hard, and we went into BC knowing that we had in mind that we wanted to bring home this medal, and that's what we did. So I really want to thank all the team, all the girls. I can look at everyone at that table right now and say that every one of you are a part of my family. I said earlier that the bulk of us have been playing together, but a lot of people have joined the team within the last couple of years, and every person that gets added onto this team just makes it stronger, and our bond gets better every year. With that too, I want to thank our coaching staff, so Paul Mullet, Kenny Jackson, and of course Jake Sanford. Thank you all so much. You guys did everything for us this year. Early morning practices, training throughout the winter, making sure that we were always on our game, definitely telling us when we're not, and making sure that we always played to our best potential. I also want to thank Gina Oxford, who was our trainer this year as well, who lives in Brunswick and couldn't be with us tonight. And so now we have a bronze medal, and I know a couple of us also have a silver medal that we won in our youth career. So I guess that leaves us with one last color to win. Thank you very much.
Well, that concludes our awards presentation for this evening. One thing I did learn tonight is how old I am, because Jeff and I, we can throw away these papers, because all the young people coming up are reading off their iPads and their iPhones. So next year, if I'm going to do this next year, I'm on an iPhone. Put it in the budget, Doug. Well, if it's 10 to 50-50, we'll never get an iPhone. Anyway, once again, on behalf of, I'm going to call Doug up here now in a few minutes to say a few fond words. But I want to thank you all for coming here tonight. Just a reminder to all the award winners and the inductees that when Doug is finished, which wouldn't take that long for Doug, to come up, we need a group picture of all of you together. And so on behalf of Jeff and I, thank you very much, and I hope you have a nice, safe evening and a safe trip home. So I'd like to call upon Doug, who will come up and make the following few comments.
So I'd like to thank God for all the work he's after putting in to making this event what it is, and Brian Jeff for being the MC tonight. And when I talk about, you know, commitment and all that, my family, one person here tonight, her husband passed away a few years ago, Jim Gaff, which most people know, and Miss Gaff has always showed up to these events ever since Mr. Gaff died, and it was always Mr. Gaff and Ruth. So thank you, Ruth. And to all the award winners and Hall of Fame people, congratulations, really well deserved. And Holy Cross ladies, you know, they did make history, and at the Senior Nationals, it's the first time Newfoundland women ever won Nationals, and I was fortunate to be with them, and you know, I've been with a large group of that girls for a long time, and you know, it's always been funny, like, even if the girls win, Jake would yell at them or say something, you know, and then Jake would always say, okay, Doug, you got anything to say, and I'd always tell him, and I'll always tell him, they're the best. And Jake would just look at me. So that's it on the closing night, and thank you, Gord. It's a real privilege to have this set across the because a lot of people really appreciate it. And Danny Breen, really appreciate you coming here. Thanks, Danny. See you Sunday at the Edge game. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Once again, all the award winners and the inductees, could you come up front, please?
So who's great? Yeah. From where? Yeah, sure. No, that's all.
See you again. See you somewhere again.
Yeah, but you don't have time to do that now. Oh, let's go back.
Morning. How are you doing, boy? Good job.
Yeah, it's good. Blair, I'm watching it from Bermuda. I'm saying perfect from Bermuda.
Yeah, excellent. Good.
Alongside of me here, folks, as the evening has just concluded with all the awards, I have the Mayor of St. John's, Honourable Danny Breen. Danny, what do you think of this evening here, Danny?
It's a great evening. This event is always great. It's always nice when you, especially there's awards for every facet of the game here. And especially the volunteer awards, because without the volunteers, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, Danny, you know, I've been involved with the sport a lifetime. I've been at the provincial level, and it's you people too. You know, municipal government, it's provincial government that we need to support, and I long to see how long that St. John's, the city of St. John's, continues to support. And here tonight, your plans is to continue to grow the sport of soccer here, especially for you in the St. John's city.
Sports are an integral part of our society. They're part of our culture, part of our heritage, and you know, it's good learning experience for the young people.
Yeah,
and they learn how to life skills that are important, that they develop, that'll help them in every facet of their lives. So our support for sport is steadfast.
Well, and as you alluded to in your speech, in next year in 19, St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador will be hosting the National Jubilee and Challenge Cup Trophy. So, you know, that's a big boost. I know you were instrumental in getting the Briar brought to St. John. So from wanting a mayor, from wanting a politician, from wanting anything that you want in a citizen, I think, Danny, you answered the bell.
Thanks very much, Gord. You know, but we got a lot of people that work really hard in this city, and a lot of people that give a lot of volunteer time, whether all facets of life, and everybody comes together. When we brought the Briar here, we put out a call for volunteers. 500 people stepped up to volunteer to make it happen. So that'll tell you the kind of support that we get here.
Well, as you know, you've heard some of the athletes speak about one time when we went away, and I was there, and especially when Laura, again, she referenced about putting the Kirby team together 10 years ago. And I know Mr. Kirby, Gary Kirby, and Scott Betts took a lot of heat for that. I endorsed them. I supported it because they had the one team. We had the Kirby team. Now we are here now looking at 4 provincial teams. We have Felians, we have Mount Pearl, and Holy Cross. So it grows, and it starts with one, Danny.
Yeah, well, and it all starts with an idea, like everything does. And that's how we develop better athletes, better citizens.
Okay, anyway, Danny, on behalf of soccer for my involvement all my lifetime, I want to personally thank you and keep up the good work with your duties here looking after the city.
Thanks very much, Gord. Good seeing you.
Okay, take care. Okay, we have all the inductees here. Go back to.
We have the inductees all standing up to get your picture taken. What a honorable evening. Sitting down from, we have Alex, the lower Breen, Colin Edwards, we have Craig Edwards, Rod Drake, and we have referee Antle. What an evening. You can feel the atmosphere here. Oh, yeah. Congratulations, here, Rob. He's here and he's here and he's been challenged with regards to the help, but I'm so glad to see him that he made a call here today that he's here. And Hubert, I'll get you in front of him. I got it. We're good. Okay, move back. Okay, I'm trying to get Hubert move back a bit so we look a little bit smaller here on the camera. But anyway, Hubert, what do you think here tonight? Hubert, great evening, wasn't it?
It was a lovely evening, Gord. Tip of the cap to the organising committee. And it seems to be this event is growing in numbers each year. And let's see people coming and supporting all the Hall of Fame inductees and award winners.
I know, Hubert, you'll be at tomorrow onwards for this weekend here. Tonight we have the annual awards and Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tomorrow we have the AG for 2018. So Hubert, I would think the Laurentians will be back big and strong again this year. Hubert?
Oh, I know that Coach Edwards has been having some sessions already. I think there's a camp plan for next year, the next weekend. And, you know, we're not the type of team that's just going to roll away and whatever. So we had a bit of hard luck last year in the finals, but we'll come back and work harder this year and see if we can challenge for hopefully to be successful.
You have Hubert, my understanding is the executive is in place again, so you have an executive board.
We have a very strong, St. Lawrence Soccer Association is in a very strong position. Improving on our infrastructure a lot over the last few years, and we're solid financially, and so we should be okay for the next year or so.
You were like to come in, and I know the whole town and the whole peninsula and the whole province were behind you when we knew that you were suffering from your health there, and it looks like to me that you're back bigger and stronger. You were.
Well, Gord, I was very lucky, and I had a lot of people praying for me, a lot of seniors in the community contacted me and said they were praying for me, and obviously there's power in prayer. So it seems like I'm going to be one of the lucky ones, at least that's what the doctor is on me right now. Thank everybody for that.
Yeah, so again, I just wish you all the best going forward. First of all, with your health, and secondly, let's know we'll be talking again when we're around the field. So again, congratulations to you. Your Laurentians will be back. And there's a lot of adversity in maintaining the team from rural Newfoundland. No one can attest to it better than you.
Yeah, certainly a lot harder for us in smaller towns to try to keep an expensive team on the field, but you have done it before, so we'll do it again. Gord, I'd like to thank you for the work you're doing with the Gord cast and streaming stuff live on across Canada and all over the world, as far as it goes, and keep people in the loop when it comes to soccer. So thanks very much.
Okay, anyway, thank you kindly. Colin, give me one of those favorite players. Give me one again. We know. Here, look, this is the man from London that the Liners love. Look. he was hurt and soul. He came.
I think I'd see you two smiling at each other.
He came from the field. They called him the bull, but I can guarantee you, there was never a stronger player that came out of this province and gave it his all more than Colin Edwards, Sir Colin.
Don't be flattered.
Well, sometimes it's your night, Colin. You deserve it, man. And I'm telling you that the people from Long, especially Long, and the Bjorn Peninsula know, right now, everyone knows here tonight that every recipient of the Hall of Fame award here tonight was well deserved. And yourself and Rod Drake, and there's others in Long that are worthy of this as well. And you know who they are because you played with them.
Yeah, I've already mentioned a couple of names there that I played with. I was filling up a little bit. Like I said earlier, small town, I'm proud to have this being from small town and Rod Coombs in here together. But there's a few more at home that deserve this award.
Well, I know, Colin, it was an honor for me to be able to play a couple of years alongside of you. And then, like, you know, I had the honor of coaching you, and I felt as a player, as a co-player, and as when I coached you as a player, you just gave it your all. You were never one of those that you had to speak to. You know that he gave it all, and if you went back in over the 18-yard line, you were going to take care of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, George.
All I can say.
Yeah, and then again, I don't know if Rod is around there. I thank you, Colin, and I'll tell you, Colin, this is very worthy honor for you. I know Wint's winning a few years ago. Wint's sang, and here tonight we have Colin going in or in now into Hall of Fame. We have Rod Drake. There are others, but that's three of the best that ever came out of Long.
Thank you very much, Gord.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was moving all around there, so anyway, Colin, thank you kindly, Colin.
Thank you.
Okay, you can hear the excitement here tonight, guys. It's everywhere. And I don't know if there's anyone else there. I'd like to, if I could get to have a chat with everybody's caught up with the excitement, pictures, families. And then you have Frank Pitman there, a Hall of Famer, giving the referee award to his son David. Family is all there. And very proud of David with mom and dad and brothers and sisters here as well. What else we have on the go here? Well, we have Craig Edwards order. I'd like to have a chat with him. I don't know if I can because again he's tied up. And we have Rod Drake is there tied up. I'd like to have a chat with Laura Breen, was a big supporter of Laura in the past. I think she was the best female soccer player that the province ever had produced. Maybe, I don't know if Ellick will come up. Ellick, come up. Okay, I'm hoping to have a few words with Ellick, what an honor.
What an honor for sure,
And you're there, and I can see it, the glee coming out of your eyes. And there, then you've been supported by a family there. It makes it that much more of a treasurable moment.
Exactly, and as I said earlier, like my soccer years, I would never trade them for anything. I made a lot of friends all over, and to have my wife and three children here, Dan, Doug, and Darlene, especially Doug came in from Alberta, and it's certainly a pleasure to be here and an honor to be accepting this elite group with this Hall of Fame.
I know Mr. Lynn Slaney is watching. Just move back a minute.
Okay.
Mr. Lynn Slaney is there watching, and I know when we were looking at endorsements, especially for a guy that, like, when you were growing up, there wasn't a lot of social media, there wasn't a lot of newspaper. And so when you got the strong endorsements from, I know, say for example, Mr. Bill Matthews there, Reg Farrell, Lynn Slaney, you had the best support in you, Willie.
That's for sure. They were great soccer players, and it was certainly a privilege to play against those great soccer players and to learn from those soccer players.
Over in the Fortune, What do you? Did you play alongside, which I'm sure you did, Bo Collier?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And I tell you, he was one of the best you would think that ever played the game.
I think Bo deserves that honor. Yes, I think Bo was one of the best soccer players that there ever was around.
I would, and I would think so, sir. I would definitely have to think Bo was, and I'm sure that you are embracing the people from Fortune, all the Apollos and all the GBs that you battle with and you play with there, Alex.
Embracing for sure, and not only the GBs and the Apollos, but all St. Lawrence, Buren, Lawn, Marystown, everywhere that I played. And in fact, we played several games in the grass ground in Point May.
Yeah, I saw.
And that was a privilege and an honor in its own.
I saw Mr. Lloyd Piercy on there too, eh? Another great soccer player.
Another great soccer player, Lloyd Piercy for sure.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Ellie, get back to your family, but it's your evening, and a big congratulations goes out to you, Ellie, for a moment that I'm sure that you will never forget.
Never forget for sure, and thank you very much for the opportunity to express my opinion and pass on my remarks.
And I thank you kindly for taking the opportunity to come over and have a few words and reach out to the people that are hooked in by World Wide Web on live streaming here, Ellie.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm still looking forward to get a few players here, if I can, you know what I'm saying? Here. Oh, I got Breen coming over. Come over here, Rod, get in front. Get in front. Okay, we're here? Yeah. Okay. Move back a bit. I'm going to tell you, folks, I don't know if you're looking at Rod Drake here tonight, but I can tell you one thing. Rod Drake right now, I'm not quite sure of his age, but he's in better shape right now than in a lot of years that he played. I have no doubt, Rod, that to me it was Al Sleaney and yourself, and I give Al the number one, but I would give you the second best goalie that I've ever seen play soccer in this province.
I'm 25, Gord.
25, yeah, I'm never asking you that, no, but I can tell you what, you obviously keep yourself in good shape and you work out. So, Rod, I got to be a very proud moment here for you, Rod.
It is, Gord. I mean, come from a small town in Lawn, I mean, only 1,000 people, and to do what our team done over the years for a long time, I mean, was pretty proud for me.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like you say, you weren't blessed in having the best structure in town. I really feel, and I've said it over and over again, if Lawn had to have a strong organization with a strong minor, I have no doubt that you guys, you won championships, but you could have definitely competed for 5 championships, Rod.
Well, like you say, but the minor system, Gord, I never played minor soccer, only 1 year, and then it shut down. So that tells you how good, and all the guys were my age or older, so we never played a lot of minor soccer.
Yes, I'm fortunate, but that tells me, though, all that's saying to me, you mightn't have played minor soccer, but you played a lot in the streets. And the meadows, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I know, we all did. And I know, to be honest with you, I also say the 2 championships that Bjorn got, not only, we're looking at Rod as Lawn, and I think that's what, no doubt, that's his hometown. That's where his family is from. And he is a Shamrock. If he got a tattoo put on him tomorrow, it will be a Shamrock.
That's correct.
Having said that, he had 2 great seasons with the Bjorn Eagles, and both of those seasons in 1990 and 1991, I feel that Rod Drake was the MVP of both of those years, although I believe in St. John's, Craig Penny got the goal, but it was Rod Drake that stopped this Holy Cross team from, I feel, capturing another championship.
Yeah, well, Cross had a powerful team, so I mean, and I played well in most championship games, so I think I done fairly good in those games. And penalty shots, I enjoyed them.
Yeah, and I tell you, I saw you in goal
when penalty shots were taken on you, and what I'm trying to put there, virtually the shot looked like to be goals. And how you could, I don't know, because you really don't have, your height is probably 5'10", 5'11".
5'10", yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So that guy had to have the athleticism, the acrobatics, and also, I think the read off the game was a strong part for you as well, Rod.
Well, Gord, if a player didn't give you any indication where he's going, if it was a right-footed kicker, 75% of the times he was going to my right. Played odds, right? If he didn't give me nothing to go by, I played the odds. If he give me something, then I picked where I figured he was going to go.
It got to be special here tonight for you, Rod, as well, to see the old bull go in here. And we're talking about Colin Edwards. Yeah. Like Colin is a legend in lawn, and so are you, Rod. But Colin is senior to you. Yes. So for you to go in with him, I think it's got to be a great honor.
Yeah. Well, Colin was the center back, and I mean, with Colin in front of me, I could do a lot of things and get away with it because he was always behind me covering up the net. I mean, I'd call for a ball, and if I missed it, 9 cents out of 10, Colin was kicking it at the net. So I mean, it made life a lot easier for me.
Anyway, Rod, I'm quite thrilled. I'm a part of the selection committee, and to be honest with you, when your name was submitted by Jimmy Rogers, it was easy. Sometimes it's very difficult for the selection committee, and the selection committee, folks, is comprised of Jeff Babstock, Brian Walsh, and myself. And when players come in like nominations from Colin Edwards and Rod Drake, that makes our job very easy. But you can see this program is growing. These awards are growing, and so is the Hall of Fame. It's a nice evening. Eh?
It's beautiful. I'm glad you voted for me and the rest of the committee. It's a great honor for me to come in here. I mean, I played soccer all my life, and to be recognized now is great.
Well, and I'm glad to see that you made it home from Alberta, and I'm glad to see your wife and your daughter. Is it the daughter?
Yeah, it's my daughter.
Yeah, you got the wife and daughter here. So anyway, Rod, on behalf of the Lawn Shamrocks, Bjorn Peninsula, and NLSA, again, I say nothing any more than a huge congratulations to you and the Bull on behalf of Lawn, Mr. Senator.
All right, thanks, Gord.
Okay, thank you again.
All right.
Okay, I'm hoping to have Craig Edwards here with me now, folks.
Oh, live stream.
Most of those fellows, guys, I'm on the Hall of Fame committee, and most of them, not only, you know, do I know them as players, I know them personally, and Craig and Scott, they're twins. Today and last night and all week when I saw the Sedin twins going out, I think that the Sedin twins of Newfoundland and Labrador soccer could very well be Craig and Scott Edwards. Craig, it got to be a very proud moment for you, Craig.
It certainly is. You know, Gord, from a very young age, you dream of a moment where you're going to be recognized by your association in your province in particular. It's a great honor. I mean, I don't know what else to say. To be able to play with many players that I've played with, so many players, so many coaches that helped me along the way. I could keep you here all night talking about all the different players and coaches that I've had.
You play with like that team that you had in like the year that we beat you. What year was that? I was 1999. Yeah, and Shane Etchegary made you were up 1-0 on us. Shane made the save on you.
He did,
and that turned the whole complexion off the game.
He certainly did.
Have you dwelled on that opportunity over and over, Craig?
I mean, how could I lie and say no? How many years have I relived that moment? I'll tell you now, I don't know if anyone remembers exactly the moment, but Darryl Stewart, I believe, took the corner kick. I had Harry marking me, Harry Kelly. I actually got over Harry and got that head ball in. So I was lucky to even get a piece of that. I pretty well connected on it. unfortunately, the ball went higher when that's an advantage for the goalie. But he made a fantastic save, Etchegary did.
Yeah.
I spoke to him after many times, like you said, and relived that moment. It was an instinctive save by him. He just instinctively tipped it over the bar, and we would have went up 2-0 there. So,
but in things equaled themselves out. In 2004, you were playing in St. Lawrence. You ended up that you would have to play on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you did, it has been done since, but you done virtually what was the impossible at that time. You won Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you clinched your first championship for Marystown in 2004.
Correct. And again, that we were the big underdogs that year, Gord. And to do it in 3 games, wow. I mean, I don't even know if we came close to beating St. Lawrence that year. We were really 5 years before that, '99. We won the regular season title. But 2004, there was no one putting a dollar on us to win that. I'm afraid. But,
no, not at all.
But boy, we were a bunch of older, ornery bunch. At that point in time, we were half-time in talking. I'll tell you if you want. But we said half-time.
I was president of St. Lawrence Soccer Association at the time. And it hurt me to lose that game. I did think that we were the better team, but in '99, actually, I thought you were the better team. But when the dust settled, to be quite honest with you, and I'm not telling you a word of a lie here, I was glad that for you and Scott and the Pickett boys and Jeremy Taylor, the ones that have given their life to soccer, there's another side of this game too, is you got to be able to be gracious in your loss, and I think that I was glad. And actually, I went to, I was with the radio station. You guys went to PEI.
Yes.
And you play well in PEI
I thought we did as well, yeah.
Very well. But a lot of the guys you had on that team, though, had come from the provincial, played at a level of provincial soccer, too.
Yes. So, at the time, we were getting a little older, so we had the likes of Johnny Pickett then with us, the younger generation, I guess you'd call it, eh? But, I mean, we had a great bunch. We all knew each other from a very young age. It wasn't like the teams nowadays where they only play for a couple of years and move on to other things. We knew each other like the back of our hands. We were like brothers, and that comes to fruition in big games when you get a little bit older.
Well,
I
think I can say on behalf right here today, I think I feel I got close ties to Marystown. My brother has moved in and been there all his adult life. My wife is from there, and I think I can say on behalf of Marystown and Marystown United, Marystown Mariners, I think I can say a big congratulations. And I think that not only are you, Smiley, that town are very proud that you and Scott have gone on to be in the provincial Newfoundland and Labrador Soccer Hall of Fame here, Scott. Or Craig?
Yeah, and I can't thank all the people enough. Like I mentioned earlier, when I accepted the award, it takes a full community to raise someone in the days we were raised in Marystown, and there were so many people involved and encouraging and complimentary. It just went on, and people were fantastic town.
Okay, anyway, Craig, again, congratulations, and thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you.
Hey, Don, come over here. Come over here. I know this guy, and again, Craig Edwards going around. He's there embracing his green shirt here tonight, folks, and so he should. Now I have coming in a gentleman that, with regards to municipalities, everybody knows that he was a volunteer with regards to municipality because he's been the mayor of, I say, roughly now, without him telling me, I say he's the mayor of Harbour Grace for his this would be maybe his 5th term, Don? Am I right there? Again, Craig, thanks a lot, Craig. How many? 6th term, okay. So you missed one. I missed one.
They kicked me out.
Okay, just move back a little, Don. Okay. Alongside of me here, folks, I have the mayor of Harbour Grace, the Honourable Don Coombs. And Don, not only is Don involved with his community with regards to a municipal level, Don is involved with the town recreation. And I know that, well, he said, I believe it was 25 years here tonight. So I met him some time ago, and I believe I was coaching the Laurentians. So I went to Harbour Grace and ran of Gord Dunphy Soccer School. Anyway, Don, quite the honour here tonight, Don. Doesn't come no surprise to me, because I knew maybe it's long overdue, but I think because you were more so had the stigma attached with you of the fact that you're mayor of the town, I think people didn't really see, but I think somebody come to their wits and they nominated you, and then they'll say, I would think it was an easy decision. Anyway, Don, congratulations.
Thank you, Gord. It's an honor. And going back to what you said, yeah, the Gord Dunphy camp came out. If I remember correctly, it's going back a while. Yourself, you brought out a young superstar that was with us, was Richard Kelly at the time. And I'm thinking that you had some other young players. Your son was also out.
I had my son, but my son was a young boy there.
Yeah.
I also had with me was
Perot?
Andrew Perot.
Andrew Perot.
And I'll tell you, Richard Kelly and Andrew Perot, and I had the best soccer player ever come out of this province. I had him alongside of
Wills
me.
Malloy was with you.
Malloy,
yes, he
friend.
was.
And I'll tell you, how those kids, and all I'm talking about the kids, was Richard Kelly and Andrew Perot. I think they shocked the community.
They were unreal. They were only kids themselves, but I think in anything is the ability to communicate, and they could do it. And of course, Wills Malloy was known to everybody. He was Mr. Soccer in Newfoundland and Labrador, probably will be forever and a day. And he was there, and just his low manner and his temperament, it was unreal. That was the first camp that we ever did in Harbour Grace or CBN, was the Gord Dunphy Soccer Camp, and it was at St. Francis School.
And we did it very professional. It was
more than professional.
It was number one. You're growing up to be an adult, and you want respect, and that's what I wanted to bring to my camp.
I think you did that plus, Gord.
Yeah, and then the soccer part was, well, I still want to show the games, the skills of the game, but also want to make it fun for kids at a youth age.
Well, going back through the years, you were the first camp that I had out. I had Ian Marshall out on several occasions. I had Tony Mullet out. We had Dragon out. We've had numerous people come out over the years, and the Gord Dunphy camp was still the first, and it's still to be matched. And it was the people that you bought, the attitude that you bought, and it was in a school gym at the time.
Absolutely.
And just atmosphere with everybody, and like you could hear a pin drop because everybody was listening, and everybody wanted to learn something, and they did.
Well, the connection that went on was my brother, youngest brother, Darren.
Exactly.
And Darren is married to Sherry. Sherry was a Walsh. She came from Harbour Grace. Darren had met you in Harbour Grace. Darren told me Don Coombs is involved with soccer down there, and he said, that's a great place for you to bring a soccer camp at.
The only thing we fooled up in soccer in Conception Bay North, and we had a chap from Marystown, he became a principal of school here. We had some good players. We had our Challenge Cup, and Challenge Cup is a 5-year, 6-year development program, and that we couldn't keep it going the second year for our young players, and I understand all that, but he coaches now in St. John's. You know the name. He was a great soccer player. He's a school principal here, and he's from Marystown. And Sheldon Bury. And he played with us, and he showed our area. And we picked up 4 fellows from St. Lawrence that couldn't make Laurentians or nothing, but Sheldon showed us what it was to be an A player. And it was only the past weekend I spoke to Matthew Toomey, who was captain of the CB Stars, and Matthew said, I said to Matthew at an event, I said, Matthew, there's a difference in an A player, senior A player, and an intermediate player. There's a difference in a senior player, Jubilee Cup or Challenge Cup soccer player, and an intermediate player. The intermediate player can play, but you don't want to hear the footsteps, and there's a difference, I said, and Sheldon had that, and he bought that to the team, and I said, if I had another 2 or 3 years to develop it, it would have worked out.
Yeah, well, Don, I'll tell you, I was proud when I read earlier in the paper that you had been selected, and obviously I was jubilant when I heard in the municipal election, because I believe I live streamed that Don Coombs had returned as mayor in Harbour Grace. And now getting an honor like this, and then, like you say, the sport is growing, Don. All I can say on behalf of soccer, NLSA, and soccer, especially in Conception Bay North, that you've done your part, and as a volunteer, Don, I congratulate you in getting this award this year, and And I say to you, all the best going forward, Don.
And as long as you're having fun, you can volunteer, you can do it. I remember leaving the field as a field marshal, going in to do administration, going out to ref a game, and going back to cover the game live on Eastlink TV, and you're doing a great job in this. So it's an honour to be able to serve and to volunteer, and I'm honoured tonight and humbled.
Thank you kindly, Don.
Thank you.
And all the best.
Thank you, Gord.
David Pitman, then I'm gone. They're kicking me out of here. Yep, okay. Okay, with me. Okay. With me, folks, I have a guy there from St. Lawrence, David Pitman. David Pitman has been official for a long time, and David, this year you finally got some recognition. David, I felt that you've done a great job. You're honest and sincere about it, and this year I saw you out in the middle and you gave it your best. First of all, David, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And
secondly, it had to be even a prouder moment for your dad to give you the award, and your dad is in the provincial soccer NLSA Hall of Fame.
It was, yeah. It was very, very unexpected, but it was a great honour.
And your mom and dad and brother and sister were here.
100%. It means the world to me to have them there.
And going forward, Dave, what's on the agenda going forward?
Just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and do my best and try to keep everybody on the field.
Well, you're a very nice guy. It's hard for a nice guy to be in the middle because, but anyway, Dave, you keep up the good work. The sky is the limit. I think you've opened some doors, and going forward, I would say all the best and congratulations on your award this year, David.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all the best. Again, folks, I'm moving on. Okay, they're all shutting her down here. Again, thank you for tuning in to Gorecast live stream. That was the 2017 NLSA Provincial Annual Awards alongside of the NLSA Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Anyway, thank you for tonight, for joining in, and okay, wait no, just wait no. Anyway, there, my wife is there behind the scenes. I thank her kindly there. No one knows what she does. We could call it Gord Joss test, but anyway, I'm sure people know that of the work that she does behind the scenes. Anyway, Jocelyn, thank you kindly for the work that you do. Rob Antle's there, does great work for the NLSA. And folks, I thank everyone. Picture still going on here. And again, thank you. Thanks, Mike, for. Mike Dunn is here. Great job, Rob. Great job to the NLSA. And again, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you kindly.